So desires, are they good? Are they bad? Is it okay to have desires, or we should not have desires?
Now, the state of human perfection is referred to as state of desirelessness. Now, let's not get there, because that is a state that perhaps a Christ or a Krishna, Muhammad, Buddha, Mahavira, these people achieved. Known sages, unknown sages, that is the state of perfection. But where an average human being is, every individual born into this world is born with unmanifest desires. The Sanskrit word for it is vasanas. Vasanas is just your desires in an embryo state. And as a child grows up, these desires start manifesting. You have no choice. Everybody has desires in this world. Now the question is, what do you want to do with these desires? Again, a human has a choice. You could spend your whole life satisfying desires only to find there are more desires coming up, and you will be engaged in satisfying the fresh desires, and this is ongoing. This will never end. In fact, some of the great masters like Adi Shankaracharya tells us, you could go through birth after birth. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. What he's saying is, you can go through these cycles of birth and death. We're not getting into that discussion, but this is a projection, which is a possibility. And just merely satisfying desires. Some of us may think, well, that's a nice thing to do. Why not go on?
Yeah.
The problem with desires is, first of all, there are different types of desires. Basically two. You could have selfish, self-centered desires, which means unless the world caters to your demands, you will not be happy. Simple thing like the weather could bother you. You could feel down. Why? The weather is bad. Because you desire fair weather. Or, the spouse doesn't smile at me. I'm leaving for office. Can't the person be nice to me? After all, I'm working for the family. There's a lot of expectations. If you act on desires, and if you're not catered to, you're miserable. So the most self-centered one is, the more catering one needs, and without that being satisfied, you'll be miserable. It's a choice. Or you could move to unselfish desires, where you're not just thinking about yourself, you're thinking about the welfare of others. So you're able to accommodate the interest of others. That's far better than wanting to be catered to all the time. And the fact remains that the world cannot cater to one individual. It's not possible. So you're going to be miserable many times, or most of the time. But when you move from being selfish to unselfish, the agitations caused by unfulfilled desires keep reducing. Okay. And the whole idea of human life is to keep moving from selfish to unselfish to becoming selfless. I'm sure some would find that impractical, but look at nature. Take your lessons from nature. The sun rises every morning and sets every evening. What desire does it have? What motive does it have? Then you may wonder, that's what a sun can do. What else can it do? A rose gives fragrance. Why does it give fragrance? Because that is what it can do. It has no choice. Or the lady of the house is coming now, let me release calories and impress her. Or the gardener's coming now, I don't have to do this. No. Whether the lady of the house comes or the gardener comes or nobody comes, it will just give fragrance, because that is what it must do. A human being, we as human beings, could learn lessons from nature. That is why there is so much of peace in nature. It's only the human race, you'll find, that has a lot of issues with stress and strain and worry and anxiety and mental agitations caused by unfulfilled desires.